Clap Sam. What would you do if God asked you to give away more than $20,000? Money that could buy a car, secure a future, or fulfill a long-awaited dream. Would you say yes, or would you pretend you didn't hear? That was my test. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy, as shared in my earlier videos. For most years, my tithing of my year-end bonus was straightforward. I would pray, get a prompting, and either give to my church or bless someone in need. But one year, God surprised me. After years of taking my family on budget-friendly road trips to places like Malacca and Port Dickson, I felt an unexpected prompting. Use your bonus for a long holiday in Australia. Wait, what? Had I heard wrong? Tithing was supposed to be outward-focused, right? Wasn't this selfish? But God reminded me, I am not a sadistic God. I am your Father who loves you. This is a well-deserved break. That trip to Australia Gold Coast was unforgettable. From watching the sunrise over the mountains to an exclusive bonfire and a reptile show at our farm stay, it was filled with moments we still cherish. It was a reminder that God cares for our well-being too, not just our work and service. As usual, its bonus season came again, I prayed, expecting a similar prompting. But this time, God said something unusual. Keep it. I was stunned for a while. For the first time, I was asked not to tithe immediately. Instead, I was to safekeep the money. A 5-figure sum sat in my account, untouched, earning interest, always available in case God activated it. But months passed before it turned into a year. Still, no instructions came. Then, in the following year, it was bonus season again. I prayed again, God, what should I do with this year's bonus? God's response hit me like a lightning bolt. Remember your last year's bonus? Combine both years and tithe it to the church. After adding both up, it was slightly over $20,000, the largest sum I had ever held in my account at one time. Giving it away felt impossible and painful. For 3 whole weeks, I wrestled. I bargained. I reasoned. I pretended I didn't hear. This money could be a down payment for a car, and in Singapore, buying a car isn't simple. In Singapore, you can't just buy a car. You need to purchase a Certificate of Entitlement, COE, which gives you the right to own and drive a vehicle for 10 years. Without it, a car is useless. And COE prices fluctuate. At that time, the cost of a new car with COE could range from $80,000 to $100,000. Imagine that I could have used that tithe as my car's down payment. But God was testing my heart. Was my security in money or in Him? On a Sunday morning, after 3 weeks of intensive struggles, I knew I had to stop running. I tore a blank check, filled in the full amount, and before I could hesitate, I dropped it in the offering bag. I felt like Abraham walking up Mount Moriah with Isaac. The sacrifice was real, the test was real. So was the pain in my heart. Abraham faced the ultimate test when God asked him to sacrifice Isaac. But the moment he raised his knife, God intervened. Do not lay a hand on the boy. Now I know that you fear God. Genesis 22:12. And what happened next? God provided a ram. Abraham named the place Yahweh Yireh. The Lord will provide. Genesis 22:14. That was the lesson. Obedience brings provision. Trust brings freedom. That day I crossed a line in my faith. Money no longer held me. It became just digits on a screen. God owned my finances and I was free. Maybe God isn't asking you to give $20,000, but what is He asking of you today? Is there something He's prompting you to surrender? Are you willing to trust Him even when it doesn't make sense? Will you believe that Yahweh Yireh, the Lord, will provide? Leave a comment below. What's a time when God tested your faith? And if this story blessed you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's walk in obedience together. Because when the rubber meets the road, will you choose money or will you choose God? If this story spoke to you, hit the like button and subscribe for more faith-based stories. Let's grow together in faith one step at a time. See you. God bless.